What is up? Derek Lambert here. Guys, gals, thank you for checking out. What would happen to me? I have 3.5 years clean. What would happen to me, approximately? I say 3.5 just to round it off. I'm like a child, you know. How old are you? I'm 7.5. So I'm just being rounding off approximate time. It's really like 3 years, 3 months. What would happen if I were to do a little heroin, or pop a pill, or take a Percocet, or Oxycontin, or let's just say I were to do something of some sort that I used to do with drinking, whatever it might be. What would happen to me if I did that, right? And I know from the past experiences, I can tell you what has happened, and it's not good. It never has been good for me. I don't know why it is. I mean, ultimately, other than the fact that I have this mind and body that's different, and I have a disease of addiction, and that is in the medical handbook. I mean, you know, practically every nation would say that addiction's a disease. So I'm not debating that today. But the bottom line is, if I were to do one bump of freaking, even if let's say I didn't do heroin, which is obviously way up there. That's like, you're right there in the deep end already, right? Let's say I popped a Percocet 5 milligram. Heaven and earth would have to get involved to try and save my ass, because I've done it, and I went back out there and did the same thing. Her Opiate Fix gave me the idea for this topic, and I remember these ideas and these talks and these, you know, we would discuss these things, and I never did videos on them, but great idea, man. Thanks a lot, bro, and I appreciate what you do. Not to say that I couldn't possibly somehow lock myself in, surrender myself to someone, and it's just so slim to none that I would even want to. So I want to start with something that I think he would relate, Her Opiate Fix, the gentleman from that channel would relate to, that I saw when he made the video. And, you know, we use each other. We're a platform of recovery in YouTube, man. We're all trying to help each other. So here's something that I think the reason why we end up not being able to just do it and stop. When you're in recovery, when you're someone like us who's gone this deep and it has affected us so badly and it's tortured our lives, you know, and we finally escape, the fact that we would return to it is already a relapse type of mindset, if you will, in our mind. So it's not like one day, and this is just for me, I'm not going to say this isn't for everybody else, but for me, my mindset began to gradually change. And I wasn't thinking recovery, thinking life, thinking selfless, thinking honesty, transparency, forgiveness, working these principles and these steps of loving one another and trying to stay humble, okay? Something started happening in my thinking or inside that was affecting me in a negative way that has caused me to start thinking I want to feel better. And I might romanticize the thought of using a pill, alcohol, whatever, cocaine, heroin, meth. It doesn't matter what it is. We all have our vices. None of us are worse or better because of it, okay? That being said, ultimately, I think that there's kind of this already you've relapsed mentality that begins to gradually go that direction. So once you do take the drug, you're solidifying kind of where you're headed, okay? I have heard people who just got the thought, they gave in, and they relapsed. And then, boom, they were like, it just happened. And it happens, I guess. Never happened to me like that, except in early recovery, when I didn't have all these tools and did not build up this program that allowed me to have barriers. So if you were to say, yo, D, could you shoot up heroin today? Hell no. I couldn't today. And I'm being honest. I couldn't today. Like right now today. Something serious would have to happen to even allow me to hurdle all those beautiful walls I've built up between me and using the substance to feel better. I'd have to tear down all the tools that I made that helped me between me and using heroin. So it would be so much work for me now to go that route and say, yeah, I'm gonna go pick up a bottle of vodka and drink it. Or I'm gonna go hit up this dope dealer. I heard this guy has some dope, so I'm gonna go use. That's the distance that recovery can allow you to create between you and the substance. So that's something I saw, but if the chemical enters me, if I take that, I'm accepting defeat in my own mind, personally. Because it's not like, oh, I just messed up, I took it and I'm done. Something in the mind kind of gives into that idea, if that makes sense. Not to say people can't, because I've relapsed before. I had 20-something days. I recorded myself on my phone, sniffed an Opana, and then recorded myself on the phone after I argued with the wife on purpose so that I could go get the Opana and stay at my mom's condo, which I was doing so I could get high. This is like back in the day, I remember. And I was recording myself, and I was sitting there, and I was like, yeah, babe, I'm sorry for fighting with you. And then all of a sudden, in the middle, I was like, yeah, it's hit me now. How crazy, right? I was recording myself getting high and apologizing to the wife because I was feeling better. There was something not right with me. Well, I went on a little spree for 2-3 weeks, all right? Getting clean was not in my mind. And I had this moment where someone in recovery reached out to me and said, hey, look, dude, no shame in the game, bro. Someone needs to hear this. Someone needs to hear what you just did. You know what I'm saying? Called my sister Manna in Washington State, and she said to ask your higher power or your God, is your understanding, whatever that may be, to take it away from you and put it on a shelf far, far away and ask, really cry out and ask for that help. Sure enough, I did it again. I went down to a AA meeting downtown Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I practically just became transparent all over again, and I started over, and I ended up getting 2 years clean that go around. So I've done this multiple times, and here I am, the furthest I've ever gone. There's my little video on what would happen if I used. What if I did drugs again? So I kind of wanted to give you guys that. I love you. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and share this with somebody you know. Love y'all. Derek Lambert, rewiredaddiction.com.